Hey guys, welcome back to another video today. So today we have pretty much one heck of a Democratic primary. We have 6 candidates, all top names for the 2020 Democratic election, besides Hillary, actually disregarding Hillary Clinton, I guess it would be 5. But still, nonetheless, she was the 26th Democratic candidate, so I decided to include her in this 2020 election prediction. Actually, Democratic primary prediction, my bad. But so today we have the junior senator from California, Kamala Harris, former Vice President Joe Biden, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and Julian Castro from the state of Texas, under the Obama administration, Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. But yeah, so essentially I picked a few top names from the Democratic primary. I wanted to see how they would stack up against each other. Looking at the map, I've decided not to include Bernie Sanders because I believe that if I included Warren, Biden, and Sanders, they would pretty much be, and Harris, I mean, they'd pretty much take the votes away from everyone else. Since I'm not including Sanders, a lot of the Northeast could become too close, and a lot of the Midwest would no longer just be safe Bernie Sanders. In the future, I'm going to do a Sanders versus Biden prediction, and that one will probably be one of the most hotly contested videos I've ever done, and that'll be a lot of reasoning behind it. So it'll be pretty long, to be completely honest with you. But looking at the map, so we have a number of states. If you compare the 2016 Democratic primary results and the 2016 Republican primary results, they seem very similar, especially in areas like the Midwest. But for right now, we're going to go in and fill the map respectively. So we have Kamala Harris from California. So I think she would be able to, considering how close up the Democratic primary is from California, I'm thinking that she'll have a possibility of winning there. I believe that they moved it up from June all the way up to February. And Jerry Brown just signed the law putting that in effect. So I believe that Harris, with some early momentum, would be able to win California. As for Biden's home state of Delaware, I think he could carry that along with Pennsylvania. That one would be very contested, but I think that Biden would do very well in Pennsylvania. I don't think Hillary Clinton would actually do that well, looking at a national level, considering that people chose her because, according to them, she was the lesser of two evils. Now it's kind of a little bit of, they have other candidates, better candidates in, I guess, their opinion, and I think that would pretty much not go to her favor. Warren, I think that she could carry Massachusetts. Castro, you know what, to be completely honest, I'm thinking that I don't think Castro would win Texas. He may be from the state of Texas, but you can't inspire that many voters to overcome the critical establishment, the number of voters that would vote for Harris, Biden, Clinton, Booker, Warren. It wouldn't be enough vote splitting to get Castro over that mark. Definitely not over 50%. I'm actually thinking that this could be a Biden state. I think that Harris would peel away African-American voters. Biden would hold on to white voters. Clinton wouldn't take much away. Booker would also take away a number of minority voters. Castro would pretty much take only Latino voters, and I understand they will soon be the major electorate, but they really don't come out to vote that often. They come out to vote when they have inspiring candidates, and it makes sense, because who would vote for someone they're not inspired by? Which is why things like rallies are very important to elections. So we're going to make this go a little bit quicker. Down in the South, this would pretty much be areas for Biden to pick up. Booker, Clinton, and Harris would all split the African-American vote, and you can't disregard the fact that Biden would be a very popular candidate just based off the fact that he comes from the Obama administration, and you cannot really expect to be really easy for... You can't expect it to be easy for Biden, but you can't expect it to be easy for one African-American candidate because of the fact that Biden's so invested in the Obama administration, as was Hillary Clinton. This would pretty much be a Biden victory, considering how much vote splitting would be going on. Florida, I would also give to Joe Biden. But going over to Kansas, I'm thinking that Elizabeth Warren could carry the state of Kansas. Along with that, we're going up to a state like Nebraska. I think that this would be area for the Midwest to go to a progressive Elizabeth Warren. I mean, these aren't typical Democratic voters, considering that they only make up maybe 25% of the actual electorate in their state, but I think that Warren could do well in the Midwest, as Bernie Sanders did. Going over to Kentucky, though, I think that Biden would be able to carry Kentucky. Oregon and Washington, I think this would be areas for Warren to gather voters. But down in New Mexico, I'm thinking that Castro could carry New Mexico by a narrow margin. But going over all the way over to Arizona, I think that this would be a Biden state. Nevada included. I think that Biden would carry the state of Nevada, but I think Warren could carry Utah and the state of Colorado. Going over to Alaska, progressive areas, definitely important for a Warren victory. Warren would also carry Oklahoma. Missouri, that one's a little bit tough, but overall in Iowa, essentially the first view for a number of voters where they're going to vote. I'm thinking that the state of Iowa, that could be really, really close. I mean, it would come down to the wire again. I mean, it all depends on how it comes out, but I think that Biden would narrowly carry Iowa. Going up to New Hampshire, though, I think this would be an area for Warren to gain a number of voters. West Virginia, I'm thinking they would go to Warren. New Jersey, though, I think that New Jersey would go to Cory Booker. I think this would be one of his few victories across the United States. The District of Columbia, that would pretty much be Biden territory. The state of Maryland, including, I think that Biden would carry Maryland. Virginia and North Carolina. Virginia, that's a little bit tricky one, but I'm actually thinking that Hillary Clinton, yes, her, could carry the state of Virginia just based off where it was in 2016 and where it was in the election compared to other states. And I also think Clinton could carry her home state of New York. I mean, it was a lot closer than it should have been, but I think the vote splitting will pertain across a number of candidates. But I think Clinton would be able to carry a little bit of voters. Up in North Dakota, I'm thinking that Warren could carry North Dakota, but South Dakota I think would go to Biden. Montana, I think this would be a Warren state. But across the Rust Belt, I'm thinking that this would go to Biden. I mean, he's a strong candidate enough to win over the voters. But Wisconsin, that's pretty iffy, but I'm actually going to switch that one to Warren. But the rest of the Rust Belt I would see going to Biden. Illinois, that's a little tough one right there. It all depends. I mean, Clinton does have a pathway to win Illinois, but I think that Biden could overcome her. Missouri wouldn't necessarily be a contest. North Carolina, I would give to Biden. Up in the Northeast, though, I think Vermont will go to Warren, and she would also carry Rhode Island and Connecticut and Maine. But Ohio, I think that would be a Biden state. And Indiana, I also think that Biden. Actually, I think it depends. I think that Biden can narrowly edge out Indiana, considering some progressives may go to different candidates, and Biden really solidifies the Democratic base. So, as you can see on your map, Kamala Harris got one state, Biden got a number of states, especially around the South, where Hillary Clinton did very well. Castro got one state. Hillary Clinton actually did better than I thought she would, and then when I actually went through the reasoning, I understood why, even myself. But yeah, so this is how I believe the map would turn out. As you can see on your screen, that I believe that Biden would win the Democratic primary against a number of these candidates. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all tomorrow.